Welcome to our home. We're Tim and Joan Platz, and we live in the Sam and Corny Schneider home. The home was built in 1915. It was designed by Walter Burley Griffin and was finished by Barry Byrne. We're going to take you on a tour of our house. Hope you enjoy it. One of the features of this house that is probably my favorite is the fireplace. We're told it's groovy tile. Most people believe it was probably a Marion Mahoney Griffin design. I am amazed that it has not been damaged over the 105 years that the home has been here, but it is an awesome piece. When Tim and I purchased the home, the floors had all been covered with carpet, and we pulled them up to find original quarter-sawn oak that had always been covered by carpet. So we've redone them and returned them to their original state. The living room had also had all of the rails removed. I call them the head rail. I think there's a more technical term. But as you'll notice, as you go out throughout the home, the head rail connects all the windows and all the doors all the way around a room and goes into the next room. We also added the cabinets in the corner. Of course, a 100-year-old home doesn't have a whole lot of storage, and I have a whole lot of stuff. So we got the original blueprints, and this is very similar to the design that was designed for the kitchen. And we copied it and made it fit to get the head rails all the way around back into the house. These were kind of dead corners. There wasn't really much you could do with them for furniture, because everything wants to take you out the window and look out at the beautiful view out in the glen. When Tim and I first saw this home, we'd come up to Mason City to look at the Stockman House. Our RV was over getting work done in Forest City, and we needed a little bit of a break, so we went to the Stockman House. We walked around Rock Glen. The rural house was for sale, and we looked at it, and I was looking for a one-bedroom cottage on a lake. Small little place we could live up in the north in the summertime. We found out that this house was for sale, and we both from the outside said if it was for sale we would buy it. We were able to get inside the house, and we took one look out this window, and we knew we had found our one-bedroom tiny cottage on the lake, or we had found the home we were going to move into. We look at Willow Creek and the Parker's Mill Dam and the waterfall. In the summertime it's absolutely beautiful, but I think in the wintertime it's even prettier. The rock cliffs turn colors in the different sunlights, and we get a view of the waterfall. Sometimes it's so noisy in the summertime that we have to close our windows because it's loud, and it's absolutely wonderful. And the room we spend the most time in is the family room, or we call it the sunroom. Has a beautiful view out into the glen and the waterfall, beautiful views of the cliff, and it's just a bright and wonderful room to sit in. It has the original ceramic tile floors. We still haven't restored those, another project. And this used to be an open air porch. Sometime in the 60s they installed the windows that you see today, and it had French doors that went into the living room and dining room. So this was a completely open air sunroom originally, but now it's the family room. We've come back up onto the level that you entered the home in. We're on the dining room now, which is the same level as the kitchen and the entryway. Part of the unique features of this home are the wood head rails, and the rail on this particular side of the fireplace would have come originally all the way across here and over and connected with the living room. This second rail would have been here, and there was no wall or bookcase. This was all open to the living room down below. When the Schneiders moved into the house, they had a toddler, and Elizabeth, I suspect, kind of liked to go through there because very shortly after the home was built, the bookcase was added and this was closed off. Some of the other things that you notice on this floor are looking out the windows again, like we did when we came in the entryway. Everywhere you're supposed to look outside and see nature. As with most 100-year-old homes, the kitchen's been remodeled since it was originally built. The kitchen originally stopped right over here. There was a door going to the outside, and it was just a screen on the outside. Based on what we found, newspapers in the floor, etc., we believe this was enclosed in the 1960s. And then we added the butler's pantry out there to make it more usable kitchen space. The cabinets and everything were here when we bought the house, except it had a suspended ceiling with fluorescent lights, which had to go very quickly. And it had orange and brown formica. It wasn't my idea of time period. So we did some research, and most everyone told us it probably would have had either soapstone or the white Carrara marble. So we went with the white Carrara marble in the kitchen, trying to be somewhat true to its history, but making it a modern home to live in. One of the features of the house that really surprised me when we moved in was central vac. They had all been painted over and the switches had all been painted over, but we stripped them down and we found the original push buttons and brass switch plates, and we found the brass fitting for the central vac. Also, the linen closet has pull-out shelves. There's some very special features in this house. And I said houses have quirks. This one's no exception. Getting up this very, very narrow staircase and getting furniture into the rooms proved to be a chore. But most difficult was getting furniture into that bedroom, because you would have to take the furniture up over the rail and try and turn it and get it into the bedroom. But we discovered that when you look into the bathroom, there's a door at the far end of the bathroom that goes out into a matching sleeping porch to the original one we were in just a few minutes ago. So all the furniture had to go through the bathroom, out that door, into the sunroom, and back around into the bedroom. We're going to go into the bathroom now. When we first moved into the house, the bathroom had white shag carpet. I kid you not, white shag carpet in a bathroom. But when we pulled it up, we discovered that the original floor was here. It had been damaged over the many, many renovations of the bathroom. We know it was renovated in the 50s, we know it was renovated in the 60s, and it kind of looked like maybe some work had been done in the 70s also. But we got the original blueprints, we found the shape of the tub, we had the tile design because we could tell from what was still remaining, and we put the bathroom back together as close as we could to the original design. The wall behind the tub did not have any tile originally, it was just plaster. So, for fun, we copied the design on the tile that matches the window design in our home. This also had two windows that went out into the sleeping porch, and it was a little strange to sit on the toilet and look out windows into somebody else's sleeping porch. So we took those two windows out and built a linen closet. We tried to match the original medicine cabinet as closely as we could when we did the design, but we had to leave the door because we need furniture in that bedroom. Elizabeth Schneider's home. She was a little girl when she moved in here. Interestingly enough, I've gotten to know Elizabeth's granddaughter, who wrote a book about her grandparents, Elizabeth, who lived here, and about this home, and she visited it, and we've talked several times. In this room, you can really see the headrail and the trim around the windows. It probably wasn't supposed to be painted like this, but we've left it for right now because we'd come up to this room when we were trying to figure out how to put it back in the living room, and we'd figure out exactly how they did it so that we could duplicate it downstairs. The light fixtures are original. Again, Not very Prairie School, but they are original to this house. In the guest bedroom, we first put the bed over there, and our son came to visit and said, no, the bed needs to be here so that you can look out the window and enjoy the waterfall from this room too. The biggest project we had since we moved into this house was to protect it from flooding. We knew when we bought the house it flooded. We'd been told, we understood that clearly. We were told it flooded about once every decade. We've been in the house 4 years and it's flooded twice. So after the first one, we knew we had to do something to protect the house. It couldn't keep getting 20 inches of water in the basement every couple years. So we decided that it would be a flood wall that went around the outside of the house. Some of the features that we really enjoyed about the house originally were these had original stone steps going up to the street, and it had original stone steps going down to the garage. However, this is the only door we can bring furniture in the house. So we decided for practical purposes, we needed to pour real cement steps so that our furniture and the people carrying it could safely come into our house. And then it became a design of the flood wall to protect the house. We did a lot of research. We talked to the people here who do flood engineering. We talked to the architect who lives in the neighborhood. We talked to FEMA. This was one of the houses that flooded in the 2008 flood, and they were originally going to tear this house down or move it to a new location. And after all was said and done, we built a stone wall the whole way around the back side of the house. It mirrors the roof line, and then inside of it is a patio. We have the stone on the outside. We did not do stone on the inside just because of cost, but we'll try and get some pictures in the snow so that you can see the stone wall. We put the push button switches back into the house. Someone had taken them all out and put decor switches in, rocker switches. And I wanted the original ones back in, so we duplicated them. One of the other things I really enjoy about this house is the original doorknobs are all in place upstairs. One of the previous owners who did a lot of renovation, he did the kitchen and the front wall and several other things in the house. I mentioned to him how much I enjoy the original glass doorknobs, and he said, "What glass doorknobs?" So it reminded me that we were very, very lucky that some of those features had stayed in this house over all that 100 years and not been destroyed. When we first bought this house, I made the silly statement, "It's move-in ready, Tim."
I don't think so.
And he fell for it. Anyway, we bought the house. There's been a few projects. Certainly the flooding was the biggest project in the flood wall. But restoring the home to as close as the original as we could and still making it a family home has been the most important to us.
And enjoyable.
And it's been a whole lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed our tour. Please come visit sometime in Mason City and tour Rock Glen, Rock Crest.